Hello, thanks for checking out my video. Today we are going to be working on our fine motor skills using a nice pincer grasp with these materials here, the pipe cleaner, these stickers, some crayons, a bag of Fruit Loops, and this worksheet with a bunch of circles on it. As we complete this activity, we will also be working on our pattern recognition and some sequencing abilities. So it'll be a very quick video today, but there's a lot of different ways that you can grade this activity up or down, so you can make it more difficult or easier depending on where your child's skill set is. And we can start by using some of these stickers and peeling them off, placing them inside of our target here as we move across the page, and establishing a pattern if we want using our stickers, which we can then use our crayons under this and color in the circles to complete the same pattern. So I'll start just by using some good bilateral coordination. I'll hold my sheet of stickers here with my non-dominant hand. I will use my pincer grasp with my dominant hand, and I will peel off the stickers here, and then I'm demonstrating a little bit of shifting with my stickers as I put it into my circle. So I'm going to start with yellow, and then I'm going to go pink, and then I'm going to go green. So I'm just going to follow the pattern that's on this sticker sheet here, and I'm going to finish this pretty quickly. And your student can do this part too. This is actually a really good way to get some fine motor skills and get some good visual tracking across the page here, as well as some real accuracy with your placement of the sticker. So that requires a lot of visual attention. So I need to follow my way across the page and accurately place my sticker inside of each circle. So now that I have a pattern established, I can follow that up using my crayons. So as I use my crayons, I want to reference the sticker above me, or above the circle that I'm working on. So this one's yellow, so I'm going to start by just coloring in yellow. And then what's next? Next is pink. Then I will color this one pink. And I'm getting some good opportunities here to demonstrate some radial precision. So I have a nice dynamic tripod grasp here. You can have a lateral tripod or even maybe a grasp with extended fingers, but we're really looking to establish some radial precision. So this movement here of my fingers as I complete my coloring, and that works out very well with this small area that I'm coloring in. If it was a much bigger area, I could just use some gross motor skills to color it in. But since it's such a small area, I'm really forced to demonstrate a little bit more precision with my coloring. So I'm going to complete this pattern. What's next? Next is green. Oops. And we will color this one green. And then again, we're referencing our pattern on top. We're going to go back to yellow. And we're going to color this one in yellow. And then our last one, we're going to reference our pattern again. We're going to go back to pink. And now that I have this colored in, I can move on to my Fruit Loops. Now I get to open my bag of Fruit Loops. Maybe I have a quick little snack. I think they're pretty delicious. But we're going to use these to match the colors in the circle. And then we're going to use our pipe cleaner and slide the Fruit Loops onto the pipe cleaner. So before I move on to placing my Fruit Loops onto my page or onto the pipe cleaner, I want to make sure that we have the concept of the pattern, kind of recognized here. So we want to maybe make sure that we establish that. So let's just say we'll review the yellow, pink, green, yellow, pink, and then we can say the next one is going to be green. So you can finish your pattern over here, or we can just stay with the 5 colors that we have right here, the 5 different circles that we have, and we can just say that this is our pattern, so that our pattern is yellow, pink, green, yellow, pink, yellow, yellow, pink, green, yellow, pink, yellow. You get to establish your own pattern, and then we will place our Fruit Loops. You can keep them in the bag. We're going to work on some good visual discrimination here with some good color identification just by having them in the bag. And we'll also be working on some kind of some visual figure ground a little bit. So all of these items are the exact same kind of shape. The only difference is that they're separate or identified by color. So we can say that we have all of these in the same bag and that we need to find the yellow one first. So we're going to have to go through all of these similar items here to find the exact one that we need. And again, I'm using a nice pincer grasp here. I'm not smushing my Fruit Loop by using too much force. I'm using just the right amount of force, and I'm using some really great graded muscle force here to place my item onto the circle here. So up next is pink. If we remember our pattern, we can do that. And then we reference here, it's going to be green. And then again, we move over visually across the page horizontally to identify our pattern. Yellow, and then pink again. And if we were working on vertical pursuits or vertical tracking, visual motor skills working vertically, we could very easily just turn our paper around and work vertically up the page. So again, we're getting kind of a little bit of both. So we're having to reference something horizontally across the page, but we're working our way up. So we're getting some good visual motor skills built into this activity when really we're just looking to identify some patterns and use our pincer grasp. So now that we've established our pattern, we've put down some stickers, we've colored in the circles in the same pattern, we took our bag of Fruit Loops and identified the colors, matched the colors into the circle to match the pattern, and now we can use our pipe cleaner and we can get some good bilateral coordination skills here. Again, I'm using a pincer grasp with this pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to use a pincer grasp with my dominant hand to get the Fruit Loop. Now we're going to have to use a lot of accuracy to place the Fruit Loop onto the pipe cleaner. So I can place this in the same vertical fashion that I have my circles and my stickers and colored in circles here, so that we can reference a little bit more clearly our paper as we do this. Or again, I can switch it. I can go horizontally so that it kind of better reflects the way that I'm holding it. So first we're going to do yellow. This kind of matches up right there perfectly. Then I'm going to do the pink one. And then I'm going to do the green. And then I'm going to do the yellow. And now I'm going to do the pink one. So what this requires not only is a lot of precision with my pincer grasp using the pipe cleaner here with the Fruit Loops, but it's also really requiring me to continue to reference my pattern right there. But another kind of great part about this activity is if I'm holding this, I'm also developing some upper extremity strength in my deltoids to stabilize this object here as I'm holding it off of the table. So if your child does not have enough proximal stability in the shoulder, we might want to just kind of keep it on the table and use the table as a support so that my forearm is rested on the table and I can just focus on isolating my fine motor skills and work on the precision of that. So if your child is working on maybe a little bit of postural control or upper extremity strength, you can have them hold the pipe cleaner in the air, which will allow us to work on that. So I'm going to put that down there to represent our pattern. We can keep them kind of spaced out like that. And we've identified the pattern and used our Fruit Loops to make the pattern with our pipe cleaner. Now we can go about doing this again with a different sequence. So I'm ready to clear off my pipe cleaner. I can clean these all off to one side. I can put them here and keep going with my pattern if that's how you want to play with this activity here. Or you can take them off and eat them and establish a new pattern and create another sequence here. So I think that's what I will do. I'll set these off to the side and I will eat those later. And then I'm going to go back to my stickers because I really think that that was great for getting some good pincer grasp work and some good shifting. And I'm going to use my visual attention and identify my target, and then I'm going to establish a pattern here. So for me, I'm gonna focus on the what's next portion of this. So I'm gonna go yellow, yellow, pink, pink, and then we're gonna do green. And we're going to have your student try to identify which one comes next. So yellow, yellow, pink, pink, green, and then your student would hopefully say green. Or you can prompt them or give them a verbal cue to say green. So we don't have a target here. If that's something that you think you would want, you can have your student make their own target. And this is a great way to practice drawing a circle. So we'll just draw our own circle right there and make our own little target. And this is just how I'm going to use my worksheet today. It's going to be just perfect. So I'm going to put that there because that is the color that comes next. And I can repeat this process over and over again. I can switch it up however you want to make your pattern. That's up to you. That's totally fine. If you want to go through and color in all of your circles to match your pattern, that's fine. Even if you want to use your Fruit Loops and just place them in the circle, that's okay too. That's a good way to do it as well. So that's not a problem at all. And then if you want to do it this way, I'll get one more. If you want to do it this way, you can work on something called nesting. So this is a great way to practice nesting. I'm just going to use my pincer grasp and translocate the item from my fingertips into my palm. So this is actually nesting. So I'm going to nest the items in from my fingertips to my palm, and I'm going to pick it up, place it in my palm. I'm still using good graded muscle force not to crush it. So I'm using the appropriate amount of force just to hold it but not crush it. I'm going to get another one, place it in my hand, get another one, place it in the hand, etc. You're going to keep going. This is nesting. This is a really important skill here to work on some kind of splinter skills associated with the radial precision of writing. So it's the same motor movement that we're using when we use a crayon or any sort of writing instrument, and we use precision. Now I can actually translocate my items from my palm to my fingertip if I wanted to. And I'm really going to rely on my thumb and my index finger, and then I can just match the pattern here. Whatever one I grab is okay because I'm having to scan across the page and identify where my target is. So, oh, that's not it. I need to go back over here. This is just another variation of this activity to really work on the fine motor skills and just matching color and to establish a little bit of pattern recognition. So before I put these Fruit Loops onto the pipe cleaner, I think I'd like to use all of my sheet of paper here. Maybe I would like to color in my circles a little bit more because maybe I want a little bit more practice with my writing instrument. So I can just go ahead and complete this sequence by coloring in my circles to match this pattern above. And again, we'll have another opportunity to say which one comes next, and then we can practice writing or drawing our own circle and coloring it in with the color accordingly. So I will finish this up. by coloring in. I'm getting some good radial precision work again. I'm stabilizing my paper with my non-dominant hand. That's really important to do. I know a lot of students with bilateral coordination challenges will often neglect to stabilize their paper, and then you kind of just have a difficult time, coloring in your circle there. So make sure we're stabilizing our paper with our non-dominant hand, referencing the color and the pattern above us, and we are using our radial precision again. Some good precision to be accurate with coloring in our circle, and again referencing our pattern. So we go yellow, yellow, pink, pink, green, and then we need to identify which one comes next. So we have a nice visual cue already built into this activity, so we can reference our visual cue. And this is just a great way to practice identifying patterns, and then to have an opportunity to demonstrate some fine motor skills in different ways. So now we're actually going to work on our visual motor integration skills and our visual perception. We're going to make our own circle. So again, we identified a pattern: yellow, 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 pink, pink, green. What's next? Green. And we need to make our own circle. And that's just a great way to change this activity to meet your child's needs. So again, pattern time. We're going to just keep repeating the pattern because that's how we learn. A lot of times is through repetition, which is okay. So we're going to say yellow, yellow, pink, pink, green. What's next? Reference our visual cue, green. And then once we are done with that, we can go right back onto the pipe cleaner using our Fruit Loops, which I can do right now. And I will maybe change my position here of where I'm holding the pipe cleaner. It was kind of bobbing around. The further back you hold it, the more it's going to bob around, the more difficult it's going to be to get it onto your the Fruit Loop onto your pipe cleaner. So if that's the case and your child's having some difficulty, maybe grabbing it a little bit closer to the tip of the pipe cleaner will help kind of negate some of that challenge there. So I'm going to follow my pattern: yellow, yellow, pink, pink, and then we're going to say what's next. We're going to reference our visual cue that we have already built into this activity: green and green. And we can get some additional bilateral coordination work by where we place our Fruit Loops. So if your child is right hand dominant and we're working on bilateral coordination skills, maybe crossing the midline of our bodies, that is something that we would love to work on. So we're going to put the Fruit Loops, the bag of Fruit Loops, on the non-dominant hand side, so that my dominant hand has to reach across the body, get the Fruit Loop, and then come back to the dominant hand side to place it on. So just your placement of these materials will help develop a different skill set. And you can do any pattern you want. It doesn't have to be the pattern here that I've demonstrated. You can use any materials you want. If you want to just color in your own pattern, there are more colors of Fruit Loops than I have colors of these stickers. So, maybe you want to use all of the colors of the Fruit Loops. You would have maybe some an orange crayon, maybe a blue crayon, a purple crayon. You get to make your own pattern. You get to do your own thing and decide what's best for you, what level of complexity you want to kind of establish here with this activity. That's up to you. Really, again, we are working on our fine motor skills, and just some basic knowledge of this of these colors here will help us to identify a pattern. So I'll finish my activity by removing the pipe cleaner with the Fruit Loops on it. I'm going to continue this pattern here. Maybe I'll just repeat the same pattern. I will go yellow, yellow, pink, pink, green, green. And once I have all of these colored in, once your student has all of these colored in, because I don't think that parents or teachers will be coloring, and I think that's for the student to do. So stabilizing the paper, coloring in to match my pattern. And then once I have that pattern all colored in here, then I'm going to go back and get my bag of Fruit Loops, and I'm just going to place my Fruit Loops on all of these. I'm just going to go back to another simple skill, matching colors. So again, I'm out of space here. Let's repeat the pattern. Yellow, yellow, pink, pink, green. What's next? Green. Another opportunity to draw a circle. And then we are going to color that in. Or you can place your sticker on it, or you can do both. You can color it in and then put your sticker on. That's fine with me. That's an easy way to match colors too. So we're going to do that just to get rid of some of these stickers. So now we're out of stickers. It's perfect. And now we can go back to placing our bag of Fruit Loops on our non-dominant hand side, reaching across our body, identifying what color we need out of this big bag of materials here. So getting some good visual figure groundwork. And then we're just going to use the skill that we probably have. We're just going to match colors. So we can go all the way across the page horizontally. We can work vertically. Whatever you guys think is best for your student is totally fine. But again, we're working on our pincer grasp, some bilateral coordination. Maybe you want to hold this bag. That's okay. And then we're just working on our pattern recognition and some matching of the colors. So as soon as I complete this, I think I will be done for the day. And I'm going to go ahead and complete this now. So I've identified my pattern, I've placed my stickers on, I've colored in my circles, I've drawn my own circles in some cases, and now I've matched all of my Fruit Loops to the corresponding colors in the pattern and the sequence that we have. Now, if I was so inclined, I can put all of my Fruit Loops onto my pipe cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So now I have all of my Fruit Loops onto my pipe cleaner. I've worked on some nice fine motor skills with my pincer grasp. Maybe you're even using a 3-jaw chuck. That's okay. We're still getting some good opposition between the thumb and the index finger. Even with the lateral pinch, we're getting the same kind of action there. We are practicing our pattern recognition and sequencing abilities. We're practicing our bilateral coordination by reaching across the midline of our body, and also by stabilizing our pipe cleaner with our non-dominant hand and placing our Fruit Loops onto it. We're working on our visual motor skills as we work our way across the page or vertically. And we are also having a pretty solid opportunity to demonstrate a pincer grasp and some shifting with the stickers, or practicing your radial precision with a writing instrument inside this very small space. So that's the activity for today. I hope you had fun doing it. And please let me know if you have any questions on how to implement any of these strategies with your student.